All right, we're good. Y'all can hear us.
All
Ready to
right.
start?
Yep. I have to see my. I don't know why. I have
You
to
like
see
you
it.
see I see your face.
I gotta see this. I have to see this at the same time. We haven't done this in so long, y'all. Oh, yep. I see it's right there.
Yes. Thank you
Okay, we
for
look cute.
yes. Thank you for bearing with us with the technical difficulties.
Yes. We have a special guest as well. The baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say right.
Baby's right here. Says hello.
Yes. Okay. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. If you see this live, if you see us, please share it so that we can reach the masses. Hi, Erica. People are falling in, and I'm so excited to be here. Like I said, we haven't done this in a really long time. This brings me back to COVID days. This is literally what our programming looked like for a really long time. So I'm very excited to, bring this back and be here with all of these beautiful ladies and Jen. And so this week is special for us because it's Black Maternal Health Week. And it ties into one of our projects that we have coming up. And it's just aligned so nice to work with so many different people, including you too, Talisha. So many different organizations here in the city to address maternal health and infant health. And so tonight we're going to be talking about the postpartum journey, finding joy after the postpartum journey through her eyes, which is a art exhibition that will be showing on May 5th at Contemporary Art Center. So we have a lot of things to cover today. And this we're just gonna have organic conversation. Y'all know I like it that way best. I don't like panels where we all like studious and, you know, looking like we at UC or NKU or Xavier, It's just like we haven't, kitchen table talk, like how we used to do our used to see our ancestors and our parents have at our aunt's house and our grandma's houses. So if y'all hear baby, that's it. You gonna hear him, he happy to be here. So we'll start with introductions and we'll get introductions and then we'll get started. So I'll start here at the end of the table in the pink because I don't want to say her name before she says it.
That's fair. Hey, everybody. My name is India Brown, and I am a mother of one. His name is Makai. He is 14 weeks. I'm also a mother of angel twins in heaven, and I am a spoken word artist as well as a college access program facilitator for The Ohio State University. So y'all can hear me now. I think we good. That's it. That's all I want to say.
My name's Christina. I'm a photographer here in the city and artist, and I'm just thankful and blessed to be the Through Her Eyes resident artist to help bring some of these artistic visions to life. It's been a joy.
I love Christina and India.
I'm Talisha Dorsey. I am the owner of Serenity Therapy Services and the founder of Motherhood and Mental Health, where we address Black maternal mental health and social issues associated with motherhood.
Yes, and Talisha is that girl. If you don't know me, if you're a new follower or if you just fell in, my name is Danielle Bush. I am the senior media and communication strategist here at Queens Village, Cincinnati. So very happy to be here. And we'll get started. I have some questions, but if y'all have seen any lives before, you know that I just spit things straight off the dome. We may start talking about other things or whatever, wherever the conversation leads us. So the first question that I'll have will be directed towards India. And so we just want to start with what drew you to Queens Village and the Through Her Eyes project because we had influx of people apply.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, people was hitting us up after we closed, like, can I apply? I'm like, we can only take X amount of people, to
Right.
make it intimate and doable. So what drew you to the project in Queens Village?
Well, so I was literally coming off of my 6 week maternity leave, first time mom. And I was like, I don't want to be that person whose like world revolves around the baby and get
Mm.
stuck. And I didn't want to put that on him or on me. I just did not want that experience. So my first attempt at that was actually solo dolo coming to the Queens Village Galentine's event, which was just held next door.
Mhm.
And I was like, I've never been. I don't know anybody who's going to be there. But like my doula, who was taking care of me and providing food and things, Bree, the nourishment doula, I guess, she was like, you got to go. You wanted to do it. It's on your calendar. Just go. You set it aside. And I really enjoyed it. I felt so welcome. I made friends immediately from the parking lot to my table and all the way back. And it felt good. It felt like me again. And so when I saw this opportunity come up, and it was with my favorite photographer, who I actually met a few years before this project.
Okay.
We did a
Okay.
boudoir photo set.
like
When I like
full
like
circle.
right before right in the middle of COVID. I don't even know. I
Okay.
just really wanted to love myself then. I didn't know that's what I was working on, but trying to love my body. And that was before I had the baby. And so
Mhm.
that's when I met her. So I saw Queens Village, who I was starting to fall in love with, and then the photographer who I knew. And I was like, I got tagged in it by a friend, and I was like, what is this? I want to
Mhm.
do it. I want to
Mhm.
reflect art. I love art.
Mhm.
And it just felt like a great opportunity to try and hold on to a piece of myself
Mhm.
when I knew I was in this big transition. I'm starting back at work. I'm a first time mom.
Mm.
I'm working with my baby with
Mhm.
me all the time.
Mhm.
And it has been that. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's what drew me to apply. I just really wanted to find something that was me as I
Mhm.
tried to build my village and my community again. Because I'm new to Cincinnati. I just moved here a year ago.
Mm. You are, girl. You look. I should have got some tissues. You are literally like exactly what she described. That is what Queens Village is about, right?
Yes.
It's about coming together. It's about finding your community. It's about, hooking up with people who you may not have known before, but you can call on them if you need something. And
Exactly.
that is exactly what it was designed for. And
Yeah.
to know that you were a transplant, I didn't know that you were a
Yeah,
transplant.
and
This
I
is
was
my
on
first time
bed
finding out.
rest when I moved here most of the time. Because my pregnancy was volatile. Like I said, I had a miscarriage before, so my doctor was already cautious, but I was having issues. So I was on bed rest. So I couldn't even go to your events when I first saw them, and I really wanted to. So that's why the first event I went to was the Galentine's, because I was finally off bed rest. I had the baby, and things were good. But I was like, I need friends. Like
Right.
I've been here for almost a year, and I haven't met anybody because I've been in the house.
Right.
So it really has been a blessing. Like I'm in love with Queens Village. I be telling everybody, join it, join it.
Do it now. Yes, that's what we love to hear.
Yeah.
That brings us into the next thing that I wanted to ask you as well is the biggest challenges that you have
Mhm.
faced as a Black mother in your postpartum period, because you just kind of touched on some of those things,
Yeah.
and so it's a perfect segue into this next question. I want Talisha to be able to weigh in on some of this stuff as well.
For
Like
sure.
what challenges have you faced in this period?
So many. But I think the biggest challenges of postpartum is this: it's never having enough hands. And there's so many people who are willing to hold the baby, and that's lovely. But I need you to hold the mop. I need you to hold the dish rag. I need you to hold the oven, like my bills. Like I really, those are the things I need you to hold. Because one, he's new to the world and I'm all he knows. So he's most comfortable in my arms. And also, I like holding my baby. I don't want to just give him to everybody to enjoy his cute, beautiful lovableness, right?
I know, because
He's
I steal him
great.
all the time.
Yes.
He's so cute.
But I want to hold my baby and just enjoy him and not just be a feeding machine for him, right? That's the second challenge, though, I would add is that, I'm nursing him, I'm breastfeeding. And it's very easy to get discouraged in that journey if you feel like it's not working right or he's not gaining enough weight. And so that's been a really big challenge, but I've been fortunate to know some Black IBCLC, whatever those letters stand for, lactation consultants, and those that are in training, I should say, but on their way, because they made a difference for me. The lactation consultant at the hospital like shoved his boob in my boob in his mouth and like was like, "Cool, you got it," and I didn't. I didn't have it, and I was really ready to quit by about week 2. But my friend literally made a home visit like the day I text her, "Girl, I'm about to quit. He has teeth. I swear he do." And that made all the difference. She came and she really showed me how my personal body, what she could relate to, would really benefit from breastfeeding. Something that the classes really couldn't touch. It was just in the way that she could, right? And I gotta say the third challenge. So one, not having enough hands because he needs me. Two, breastfeeding is really difficult, especially once you go back to work because you need to pump if you're gonna let other people feed them. And I can't always have time to do that. I'm here,
Right.
it's easier just to feed him directly from the tap, as they say.
Right, right.
From my restaurant, right?
That's so
I love that
cute.
organization. But the third one I'd say, and this is my final one, I say the third one is that it's loneliness. Because even when people are all around, it's really, really tough to feel like so needed by someone. I haven't been apart from this young man more than 4 hours. And it's not for lack of opportunities. Like I said, there's plenty of people who are willing to hold the baby, but like he can be away from me for an hour in the living room with his father. And I literally, as I'm sleeping, will have nightmares that something has happened to him. Like our bodies are so connected that he's with me even when he's not with me. So I just can't rest. Even when I was at the Galentine's event, I was like, okay, I said I was gonna be gone 2 hours. That's all I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna rush home. And I'm gonna be on time because I need to feed him. I don't want him to take it from the bottle. I want to give it to him from my breast. Right. And so I think that is the next one. It's just lonely. So it's hard to allow yourself to do things, but even when you do have time to do them, it's just tough to pull them off. Hey, buddy, here you go.
So she just is doing such a great job opening
She
up.
done put it all
can-
on the
Girl,
table.
I'm just like,
I'm like, what do we have to say?
I'm like, did I mention I'm also a minister chaplain by trade? I don't mind sharing.
Okay.
Here.
I like
That's
that.
how I'm learning to heal. I gotta let
You
it
gotta
out.
you have to talk about it.
Yes.
And I feel like that is the monumental moment in healing. Like when you can sit and tell your testimony and testify and talk about it, I feel like you've reached a certain point in your healing journey.
Yes.
Because sometimes you can't talk about stuff without crying. Sometimes you can't even get words out when you're experiencing like traumatic things. And I feel like that is a piece of your journey that you're like, okay, I'm getting there. I'm getting somewhere because I'm able to talk about it and to, help other people.
Yeah, and I want to say sometimes, like whether you got to talk through your tears or not, some people can't even cry because they're so used to having to put on a face. And I want to advocate for those people that doesn't mean that I'm doing great. People look at me and they see my smile and they assume, India, good. She been meant for this, all this. But one, I've had a crazy journey, like I said, with miscarriage and infertility concerns, right? I moved here after a divorce at that. So like I was really rebuilding my life. And it's just like so many transitions were building up in me. One night I literally was like, he's crying, I'm crying, I don't know what's going on. And I went to my sorority sister's house, like, I know you up. Are the kids not sick? Good. Here's the baby. I just need to cry, maybe have a drink.
Right.
Because I can't do it.
That's
like my
real.
boyfriend was working third shift and I was just like, I can't do another night with him.
And I think
That's
that's too
real.
speaks on like advocating for safe spaces. A lot of people are scared to advocate for a safe space, or they don't know what a safe space is, and like and that's even outside of motherhood because like I don't have children, and that's not a journey I really want to take. But I feel like I know for me, like going back a little bit with like Queens Village and Through Her Eyes, there seems to be such a separation between women when they have children and women when they don't. We create this big gap. We just create this big gap between us. And I don't want that gap. I want to still be a part of your community, be a part of your friendships, be a part of your milestones. But we just have this tendency, like, don't talk to me about your kids, because you don't have no kids, like as if I know nothing.
Yes.
But I probably know more than you think because I have consciously made that decision to not do it.
Right.
So it's just all about like advocating for safe spaces and knowing that your friends who do or do not have children can be your safe space.
I want to say I just love that because that was the thing I realized. Once I gathered my mom friends through Queens Village things, I was like, I need some non-mom friends because they're
Hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer. I'm trying to be outside, and a lot of them want to plan for it, and I just kind of hand my son off to my boyfriend and be like, I got to run an errand, and I want to go drink.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
So I need non-mom friends because it's a little bit easier for them to free their schedules versus all of us are like, who got the sitter? Who got this?
Yes.
Smarter.
Yes, I like that we're having this conversation because it makes me think about, Talisha. She introduced her programming and her organization to us quite some time ago. And so it's so aligned with what we're talking about. And so I just want to let Talisha weigh in on some of the challenges that you see when mothers, are first entering into their postpartum.
Absolutely. So you have touched on so
I
many
know
already.
she
So I think one of the biggest things is that people don't know that they can plan for that postpartum portion of pregnancy. I'm no
Mm.
longer pregnant. It's time for me to just take care of this baby. Well, no. How are you going to nourish yourself?
Mm-hmm.
When are you going to sleep? Who
Mhm.
is your support system?
Mhm.
Like thinking about all of those things. And so when you're creating your postpartum, your birthing plan, making sure you're putting that postpartum portion in it as well. So when you're thinking about, again, what are you going to be eating? So I know there are doulas or nutritionists or just different programs out there that meal plan for you.
Yep.
That is huge.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my clients don't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they come to me, some of them are handing their baby to me in therapy, like,
Right. Like,
thank
please.
you, do this for me. Or I'll even offer. I had a client in session, and little man was everywhere. I'm like, do you need help?
Mm-hmm.
Let me take him.
Mm-hmm.
Not being afraid to ask for help
Or accept
Or
or accepting.
because
we be the
Yeah.
first ones be like, I got it. Ma'am, I'm watching you. I
Mhm.
see you,
I
sis.
see
I
you
see you
struggling with
struggling.
that stroller, the car seat, your purse, your book bag. Ma'am, you do need help. You look like you need help, and
Absolutely.
we still refuse to accept help.
Absolutely. A lot of people don't even know what postpartum looks like either. Um, Postpartum depression, baby blues, and sometimes they can even get even more severe, and people have like psychotic issues. So I don't know if you want me to kind of get into that
I mean, you know
too.
what? We can, because you know what? I think it's very relevant to this conversation. And I've seen many things on social media. You know, that's what I do.
Mhm.
I've seen many things on social media about folks. It was a situation where a mom, got into it with the dad, and she ended up taking the baby's life. And so I had people on there. Well, I saw people on there like, hey, y'all don't be getting on here claiming postpartum depression and whatever,
It's so
whatever. I'm like,
real.
postpartum depression is
It's
not
real.
the only
Mhm.
diagnosis that can be given postpartum. And if you've never been there, you don't know. And so my maternal and child health hat is always on. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I can't judge another woman based off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you just never
Mhm.
know what people go through. And so I would love for you to touch on that, because people think that it's not a real thing.
And it
Mhm.
is
It's
very.
And
extremely
I'll argue
real.
with them, because
Mhm.
I've read studies, I've talked to doctors, I've been around therapists. Like, I literally work in this field, and so sometimes it's not even worth the argument, because you can't argue with a fool. They say you argue with a fool, that make you
Yep.
one too.
Mhm.
So I just don't even
Mhm.
say nothing. But
Mhm.
it's real, and I feel like we should touch on that a little bit as well.
And it doesn't mean you don't love your baby. I just want to say that.
Yeah,
Because I love my baby, but I was crying while breastfeeding him, and I could
Mhm.
not explain it. I just
yeah,
knew I was just
Mhm.
yeah,
not good.
yes, absolutely.
Mhm. And so you see those crying spells, you see the feeling of loneliness, you are sad all the time, or you just feel down. Um, there is inconsistencies in your sleep schedule. You're either overeating or you're not eating enough. And it's not due to, well, I didn't have someone make my meals for me, or I don't have access to certain things. It's just another symptom of postpartum depression. That postpartum comes in because it's the onset after you have had a child. So outside of that, you also have baby blues. So baby blues typically, again, you're kind of seeing those symptoms associated with depression, but if they don't last past 3 to 6 weeks, that's when they consider them baby blues.
Okay.
Okay.
Past that 6 weeks, then you're getting into that postpartum depression, and that can last for up to 2 years.
Yeah, people don't think that just because your baby turned one and it's
Mhm.
gone. No,
Mhm.
especially if you already struggled with
Absolutely.
depression
Absolutely.
before.
Yes. Yes.
Pick me. Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Yes.
Ma'am, I deal with that on the regular. Don't let it be winter, because I'm in here crying listening to Tony Braxton.
Yes.
I'm in here crying listening to Tony Braxton on my own. So I can only imagine.
Yeah,
You
Yes.
know?
I have a friend. She has her kids are 3 and well, no, that's a lie. Them kids is way older than that. I'm sorry, those are my babies, but I don't. They just grow up so
You start
fast.
down there. You
They
grow
grow up so
up,
fast.
especially in 2020. I don't know how
I
old
don't know
nobody kids
I
are.
don't I just love y'all. But I know she was talking about how she's like, I feel like she just got out of that with her 5-year-old. She just got out of the funk of who am I? What am I doing? These kids are driving me. Well, they're always gonna drive me crazy. But it's a different level of like, I need to detach from my children.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And you're right, you are more susceptible to postpartum depression if you've had depression in the past or even any other mental health issue. And so you kind of start getting into those psychotic disorders when you start experiencing hallucinations. So those auditory hallucinations, those visual hallucinations, just like the story you just told. Yeah, you see people have those mental breaks, and it is because most of the time, especially when a child is involved, because of postpartum depression.
And then let's not even talk about the social determinants of health. Don't make me start preaching here.
Do it.
Right.
The social determinants of health, where we live, what we eat, what we're exposed to. We don't already, a lot of people don't have community even before they have a child, or we think that community has to be your family, and it does not.
Absolutely.
Baby, because sometimes they don't be, your cousins and them don't be no help sometimes. I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping it funky. Sometimes your aunts, they be like, you shouldn't have had that baby. You
Just like
take
that.
your ass back to work. You can't breastfeed because you get
But in the
their ass that
same breath, be
formula.
like, is he getting out of the way?
Ma'am.
And because they haven't dealt with they didn't have community,
There you
right?
go.
So they don't know what that
So-
looks like.
Right. And they feel that
Because they
They have
struggle,
this
you
weird
have to
thing-
struggle.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Exactly that.
No,
ma'am,
thank
no,
you.
I'm not. Don't worry. I'm finding me some cousins.
Okay.
I'm finding me some aunties.
Mhm.
Yes. And
My
that's
cousins and
my cousins and my
Yes.
aunties.
That's
Yes,
what we
I
gotta
am.
do.
That's what you
Mhm.
have to do, or else you will not survive. We
No.
thrive in community. Like
Absolutely.
that is what we do. I mean, back even ancient times, like we are better together. Like that's not cliche to say. Like it's literally true. And I just always think about that. Like, I feel sorry for people who feel that they have to have it within their family unit. And it's like you can branch outside of that, and
But they have
you
to grieve that first, I think.
Absolutely,
They
because
have to
sometimes
let
we
go.
get up.
Yeah, because that's a loss. You expected that this would be the time
Absolutely.
your family would finally come together for you. If
Absolutely.
they hadn't before, I don't know why you
Absolutely.
thought they would change, but
Yeah.
I did. And you're like,
Right.
they're gonna finally come together for me. And then when they
Psych.
don't, you have to grieve it all over
Yes,
again and change your expectations.
Yes, it's disappointing. I seen, then we can move on to the next question. I get so caught up in this, but I saw a video on Twitter. It was two siblings running to see their
I
sister.
saw it.
Because she told them that she didn't want visitors for the first 30 days, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Day
So it
31.
was day 31. They run into the door with the hand sanitizer so they could see the baby. And so I thought that was the cutest thing ever. But I also thought that it was healthy because they respected her boundaries. There are family members out here that will just show up and just kick it. Y'all could kick it at home, okay? If you ain't cleaning up, if you ain't washing no dishes, you ain't cooking no meal, you don't need to be.
Did you bring me something to eat?
And don't complain about it either, because that's the first question I'm asking. Oh, you coming over? We would like some yums.
Yeah.
What would you
Yes.
like to bring? What's in your
Yes.
budget?
Yes.
I'm not particular. What's in your budget? We're
Yes.
hungry.
Yes. Absolutely. If you're going to hold the baby so I can nap and take a shower, not hold the baby while we sit here and look at each other.
Right.
Yes.
Like when my friend Brandy had a baby, I asked her, what would you like? What do you need? And she told me some Crown Royal, and I brought her some. I did.
You my new favorite friend.
A fifth.
Crown Royal.
Yes. I brought her a fifth. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, I did.
My
That's
birthday's
what she
April
said she
27th.
okay, I got that's in a few
Listen,
weeks,
it
ain't
is.
it? Yeah. You might be onto something. But asking what it is that people need instead of assuming. And I think that that's very important. She like, hell, I just need a bottle. I'm on my way, So I like that we're talking about community as well, because that is what, makes us who we are and helps us thrive.
And community who don't judge what you need. I want to go out. I want to drink. I want to do these things. I don't want to do the mommy things that you think I should be wanting to
Well,
do.
you can't drink because you're breastfeeding.
I absolutely can. He's
Right.
fine.
It's not my business.
Trust me.
Yes. So What strategies? I think this question is for India. What strategies have you used to help restore joy in your postpartum experience as a Black mom?
Honestly, I think it started with this project because I was still just trying to get by and go by, right? So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out work because again, I just started this job last year. Even though I'm familiar with the
Mhm.
area,
Mhm.
I'm still adapting to this role, and now I'm doing it as a first time mom. So I was just kind of going, going, going. I'm breastfeeding. I'm answering emails. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And when I saw this project, it really began to tap back into that creative space that I just live in. Like I said, I'm a self published author. I have 3 books of poetry, and that was something I really wanted to spend more time in, but I kind of got scared off because marketing is so much work and I just wanted to be in the creative space of it, right? So I hadn't even found any
Girl.
poetry scenes here yet or enjoyed those. And so when we got to the art place and they're like, yes, we're gonna color this and you're gonna write that. I'm like, yes, give me the utensils. And Brittany took my baby and I was like, thank you, Brittany. And I was coloring. And they were like, I got your baby over here. I'm like, okay, I'm coloring. I don't care because that was what I needed. I needed to have that space where like I knew my baby was safe and in good hands, but also the things that I love to do that are still goals for me and are important. That was very important. So I think that's a big thing because I think a lot of people be like, oh, you ask some people like, what is your goal or your purpose for life? And they're like, my baby is my life. I felt bad because I was like, actually, my goals, my purpose is to create access for people in higher education spaces, and I'm living in that right now in my role, and I love it, and I want to do more of it in my community. What else can I do? So it started off with doing a program like this, right, through her eyes, but also I started signing up for postpartum groups. Queens Village had one that was like virtual, and I didn't want to do virtual, so I was happy that through her eyes was in person, so I had a mix of both and actually really enjoyed the virtual one. I was sad when it ended. So I was talking to moms, Thursday night on the phone. I made sure I made that appointment, right? In addition to doing postpartum support groups, because I did multiple, I signed up for doula services. I had got a very discounted service for my birth plan one, but I really didn't have money to do that, right? But me and She Doula Services, Nourishing Seeds, I think is the name of the other one. They have programs for Black women in the community who have these financial burdens. So I hit up all of them. Like people laughing at me, like, how many doulas do you have? 5. Which one do you want to talk about? They all have done different things for me, and I love it because that is what was part of helping me give me back my joy. It helped me start to accept help, and it helped me be able to take care of needs that I had that would go by the wayside. So I got involved in programs. I volunteered in the community. I did support groups just for me. And I also reached out to the community resources that I'm always, referring to other people. I did it for me. So those are things that really helped. And then I started dressing up because they were like, listen, here's your mom wardrobe. And they threw it in the trash. They're like, we're not doing that no more. I was like, what?
Listen.
And they, no,
like you look very pretty.
They didn't really throw it
you
in the
look very
trash.
pretty.
No, they didn't really throw it in the trash.
But through this project, we want you to recenter yourself, and I consider that a strategy of joy. Because I think for me personally, I can't speak for everyone, but for mothers, but like parenting is the job, but that isn't like you clock in and out of your job, and but you still have your goals, right? Because you're at the end of the day, as a parent, you have signed on for this job to raise and protect and teach, but that didn't change. Like I go clock in and out of my job, but that's not who I am fully as a person. That's just one of the things that I do. So with this project, it was really important to make sure women are not forgetting who you are. Like, what do you want to do outside? Because the more you do you, the better you're gonna be to the ones you're teaching. Too.
Yeah, and I hadn't noticed, but it kind of like was in the periphery of my eye that I had really stopped wearing earrings. Even if I was in like my sweatpants, girl, I was grabbing a pair of earrings because that was my thing. I loved them. I didn't care if it was a basic gold hoops from the Asian beauty store, Black beauty store, right? Listen, I love them.
They give us flowers.
Exactly. Or if it was like the custom earrings I get from my homegirl in Dayton, right? She's culture by design. But I had stopped wearing them. And I was investing in these because I loved them. I wore a pair of earrings when I gave birth. Okay. When I tell you earrings are like my superpower,
Okay.
I mean it. Okay. And I just was like, when did I stop wearing these?
Right.
Right.
Wow.
And so putting those back on was like the first step for me, because it's not all about the makeup and the pretty for me. It's just like something that makes me feel beautiful.
Mhm.
That's like
Mhm.
internally, right?
Mhm.
Same thing with my hair. I scheduled my lock appointment because my loctician was finally off maternity leave. Her
Like,
son
girl,
was born 9 minutes
like,
after
you
mine.
back?
So I was like, you back? All right, I'm slipping into your Saturday. Because I needed someone else to wash my hair. I was tired of that
Yes.
being my responsibility. Because when did I have time to do that and take care of him? I'm giving him his regular baths, but washing my hair
Right.
and twisting it,
Right. Not gonna happen.
So
I
those
don't
are
have
some of the
kids and I don't wanna wash
strategies.
my own hair.
Me either. When I cry when I gotta get my box braids, I be so
Yes.
daggone mad. You brought up some points that I wanted to touch on. When we first had the very first session and I got there, when I had our opening, that's exactly what I said about this project. Like, I want this to be about you.
Yeah.
You know, yes, your baby's here. Yes, we love the babies, but y'all literally just met them.
Mhm.
You've been knowing yourself for a lot longer, okay? So, not saying that they ain't important, but right now in this moment for this project, so that you can produce your best self and your best work, I want you to focus on you. And so, even, in my family, I've heard plenty of, elders say, like, it ain't about you no more.
Yes, but it is.
It ain't about you no more. It's about that
Mhm.
baby. Like, they just met that baby.
Mhm.
Literally just met them 30 days ago, and you
Yes.
talking about it ain't about no ma'am.
Mhm.
Like, we are getting ready to change that narrative, and I have, like, within my family, within my friends, I'm like, it is about you. Because if
Absolutely.
you are not okay, that baby's
He is
not
not
okay.
okay.
The baby knows when something is up.
Definitely does.
He or she grew inside of you. They're able to pick up on nonverbal cues. They know you.
Yeah.
So if
Absolutely.
you are stressed,
Baby stress.
yeah, you crying, they crying,
We crying
everybody
together.
crying.
You're like, where's it almost speaks, and I think for someone who doesn't have children, right? You look at these things and you see these things and you're like, so what you're telling me is a person who already struggles with balance. I'm just going to have a baby and continue to have no more balance in my life. That's not okay with me, because even in the Bible it says you're supposed to have balance. There's a time to
Okay.
grow, a time to plant,
Okay.
a time to sow, etc., etc. I don't quote me because I don't go to church.
That's
But
it's
how
how
you
you
doing
doing
it.
it.
But
You doing it.
you got
got
so
there.
right.
So why can't we take the same? Oh, why can't we take the same? Sorry, I was really loud. Sorry, God, I didn't mean to holler. Why isn't the same approach taken with like raising children?
Because she just said it.
Oh yeah, because it ain't about you no
Because it's
more.
not about you no
Yeah.
more. That is ingrained in us from when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like it's not about you, it's about the baby. I tell my clients all the time, don't stop doing you. Don't stop getting your hair done. Don't stop getting your nails done. Don't stop, spending time with your family. Don't stop spending time with your friends. Like keep that routine going. Make that a part of your again, your postpartum plan. Like you have control. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. Like you have control of what this could potentially look like for you.
Can I say the thing that actually made me start seeking these things out the most, though? One was I knew, because I have a history of depression, and nobody ever checked on me after my miscarriage. I didn't even realize that I could have postpartum after that. So that was the whole thing, right? But listen, we're not gonna go there. But I said that to say I was already aware from my years in therapy, seminary, which felt like therapy, and all of those different things that I need to watch out for this, because I want to be okay for my baby, right? So I was on it. I was vigilant. I talked to the doctor who wasn't my doctor, who came to check on me one day in the hospital because she was the one on call. And I was like, hey, so I want to get back on antidepressants. I got off of those for the baby. What can I get on now? Right? I was very proactive about that. But the thing that really, really, really changed my mind was a health scare. I never had any issues with high blood pressure. But after the baby, postpartum preeclampsia became something that I had to be concerned about. And I was like, what if I don't wake up one day and my baby doesn't have me? I was very, very afraid. I was terrified. And people were like, oh, I'm going to give you space to deal with this. I was like, no, I really need people now, because I'm scared that I thought once I got past birth, I was good. I'm here for my baby. But now you're telling me I could be taken away from my baby after I got him safely here? That's scary.
I was about to
Yes,
say.
exactly. I was gonna listen because that's what it was.
Mhm.
And so it was
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
moment that I had decided, I had saw something going around social media that, people do resolutions and things, but this was like a one word thing for the year. And I was like, mine is going to be energy. I'm going to be very particular about where I put my energy because I need to be here for him. I
Mhm.
need to be here for me.
Mhm.
And I need to be here. And I need to get this figured out because this is scary to me. So I still take blood pressure pills right now because we're still working on that, but I had never had that issue before.
Right.
So that was why I was very intentional outside of like my concerns about postpartum depression about getting involved in community
Mhm.
things
Mhm.
because I was like, I have to take care of me and this is how I take care of me.
Mhm. Girl. I mean, just how loaded this conversation is. It's just so many pieces to pick apart
Mm-hmm.
about, taking care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually after you have a baby. Like one thing that black women say, older black women say, is like that's the closest that you'll ever be to death is having a baby.
Yeah.
And so, ooh, Jesus, I ain't got no kids, but I am terrified. Like I watched my sister give birth to my nephew natural, and so I was looking like, oh, it's real. Like just seeing her in that state, it was life changing for me, and I wasn't even the person having a baby, and just being there for my brother because a lot of people think that men don't go through things after a baby is born as well, and so both of y'all don't like each other very much. You're trying to work through your thing, you're trying to work together, and all that type of thing. So it's a thing for everybody, not just
Mhm.
mom who's having a baby. I don't, girl, they having some upstairs. I don't know, but
Yeah, if y'all hear a lot of
if y'all
noise,
hear
we are
Gucci, if y'all hear
sorry.
Gucci Mane a little bit, that's them upstairs. But yeah, it's just I'm happy that you're touching on this, and so it's really making me miss all of our conversations like this that we have because people have to see this and
Mm-hmm.
hear this and identify with that, right?
Mhm.
Because sometimes people think that they go through things alone or they
Mhm.
suffer in silence. Like,
Yeah.
am I the only person experiencing this? I'm
Yeah.
supposed to be happy and joyous.
Exactly.
Girl, that's fake. You see the magazines and the articles and people on the parenting, they all smiling stuff. That's fake.
Mhm.
The breastfeeding pictures, they all like it's fake.
Have you ever met a child?
Bro,
Have any of you ever met a child? You
be
think
for
people are
real.
happy?
Right.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Right.
Because
No.
I watch my nephew for 3
Yes.
hours and I be like, oh my God.
You gotta go.
Girl.
Girl,
No.
don't say he can't have no
Listen.
fruit snacks. He is going to turn up
Mhm.
on me and my husband. Okay.
Listen, all of these last 3 months, my baby been looking at me like Elijah and Diddy, whatever their names was looking at each other. We'd be looking at each other. I'm like, all right, whatever you say. Listen, you in charge. You in
Right.
charge. Whatever.
It's your word.
I
I'm
was
just
like,
living
I was going to give you the milk. I just needed a
Yes.
moment.
Yes.
I would want to add one thing. I think on the practical side, because I think people don't talk about the nasty, itty gritty bitty parts, right? Pee, poop, shower, whatever you need to do. Let the baby cry while you do it, because you need to poop, and you holding your poop in because you're like, oh, well, he's crying right now, and I have to feed him right now.
Right, girl,
It's not good for you. And I really wanted to add that because I think that's in your mindset, especially as a first time mom. You're just like, oh, I don't want to have him have a poor attachment style or all these different things, right? And you're like, I just set him down for a second. I just want to go. No, pee, poop. Take your time, especially if you had a vaginal birth like me. Like peeing is a longer process, so you're having to get your sprays and all these things. Like peeing is not a simple 5-second thing. Like my partner was like, "Why can't you just go to the bathroom when I'm not here?" You don't understand.
Right.
First of all, don't do that.
Right.
And he's a great partner, but don't do that.
Right.
And so I would say that's a really important thing. Your bodily functions, even if you just start there, if you can't handle everything else, start with that. Allow yourself time to go to the bathroom. Even if you got to prop them up on the bathroom floor in a little bassinet, okay? Go, because it's important and it'll help you be able to enjoy your baby. Like that's the first thing, be able to actually enjoy them.
Yeah.
But also don't just let people help, because I heard you say that earlier. Require them to help.
You can't come here unless you do something.
And I'm not just talking about the people that's outside your home, the people that are already in your home. Because people be like, oh, I'm the primary parent. Require them to help. Put that in your postpartum plan. boyfriend, husband, baby daddy, whoever, this is what you need to do. I need you to change the diapers. I need you to do this. And that becomes an automatic part. I was lucky my partner already has kids and really wanted to do those things. So he's like fighting me to take the baby so he can do those things. And that was hard for me. But my friend who already had a baby said, I wish I had let my partner help more because he
I'm
maybe
staring
would
at
do
you
more
for a
of it
reason.
now. I know. But it was like, it was just very hard to be apart from him because I was in the hospital with him by myself for a couple of days when my partner had to go back to work and
Right.
there was a fear of jaundice. So
Right.
it was just really hard initially. Like,
Mhm.
okay.
And that's understandable. But I do feel like how you said, require,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like you can't babysit your own kid.
No.
Can you say that one more time?
You cannot babysit your own kid.
Thank you.
Exactly.
If you are not a single parent,
Right.
why are you treating yourself as if you are a single parent?
Period.
Exactly.
No. It's
Don't do it, my friend.
don't do it.
Mhm.
And sometimes we have to tell you. You know, it's just this thing.
Yes,
sometimes
fortunately.
where you have to be boisterous of the things that you need. Again, that's something that we said we don't really do,
Spell
especially
it out.
Black women.
Spell it out.
Gotta spell it out. I need you to do X, Y, and Z. I need this done. I need that, and that's a partnership. What do you need me? Because sometimes people don't know,
They don't.
you know, or they've been raised to see one person do everything, you know, and so you have to rely on your partner and other folks and things like that. And I think that it is good to delegate because that's something that we don't do. You know, we think I'm gonna just do it all. You can't. You physically can't. And so, Talisha, I wanted to ask you, what's some advice that you can offer to Black moms who are struggling to find joy in their postpartum
Yeah.
period?
And so, like I said earlier, don't stop doing what you've been doing prior to pregnancy. Once you find out you're pregnant, okay, well, what is my life going to look like? What do I want it to look like? Do I want to keep painting? Yes, do it. Don't stop. Do I want to keep exercising? Yes, okay, well, keep doing that. So continue to whatever your routine is, continue that routine. Again, making sure that you are putting things in your birthing plan and your postpartum plan. Um, what do you want it to look like when you get home from the hospital? What do you want it to look like when people come over? Are you going to engage in the things that you enjoy doing when people come over? So maybe I don't need a nap. Maybe I do want someone to come over and watch my baby while I go hang out with my friends. Or maybe I do want someone to come over so I can go upstairs and watch my favorite show.
Right.
So just making sure that you recognize that again, you have a sense of control. Don't stop doing the things that you are already doing. Yes, you have this bundle of joy and it's an addition and things might look a little different, but again, you have a sense of control. Like you can really outline what you want things to look like for yourself.
Can you
That's
talk?
great
Oh,
advice. No, go ahead.
I was because I'm just listening to you, and it sounds like also like I feel like we struggle with transparency. People are really afraid to show you like what things really look like. Do you have any advice for like that, like how to be more transparent, or
People have to be in a space where they want to be vulnerable, and that can look different for a lot of people. So a mom could be struggling if she doesn't know how to advocate for herself. She's not going to say anything. And that's something that I really, really, really work with my clients, even down to the doctor's office. Okay, do you have your list of questions that you want to ask the doctor when you go into your appointment? No? Okay, well, let's write those out right now. Again, I'm so big on these birthing plans. Like, what do you want that to look like? Who do you want to be involved? And bringing them into sessions. Let's talk to them. Let's have meetings with them and require them to, hey, you're going to be in charge of making my meals, or you're going to be in charge of X, Y, and Z. Outlining and laying all that stuff out prior to the baby getting here is going to be huge.
Don't laugh at me.
You already laughing.
Listen, I was just gonna say, don't be afraid to be outlandish. I think sometimes we don't ask for things because we don't want it thrown back in our face, or we don't want to look crazy or sound bad. But if you got to be Felicia from Friday, Craig, can I borrow your microwave? Ask for that microwave, okay? because you
Absolutely.
need what you need, and you need the boldness of Felicia. You know, we
Yes.
talk about her, but you need that boldness when
Yes.
you are dealing with postpartum,
Mhm.
because that's how you get what you need. And it worked. Like, I needed someone to come with me to the tattoo shop because I wanted my baby's footprint here. But I needed somebody to hold him because I knew, like, that's not really gonna work out at the
Yeah.
tattoo shop. He a good baby, but ain't no baby that good.
Mhm.
And so I asked my brother's sister because I was just like, she over
Mhm.
here, maybe she got time. And she was like, cool, I would love to hold my nephew. I never would have asked her that because I'm like, we don't have a relationship. How am I gonna ask her to take time out to do this? I was like, I'm about to do it because I really want this thing, right?
Mhm.
So don't be
Mhm.
afraid to be outlandish with
Mhm.
your request.
Mhm.
People will say yes or they will say no.
Mhm.
Some people might laugh. That is okay.
Mhm.
You know, next time that, because there's certain people you can ask for money. There's certain
Mhm.
people you can
Yep.
ask for time.
Mhm.
There's certain people you can ask for things. Figure
Mhm.
out early who those people
Who-
are in your life based on your
Absolutely.
requests. And then the
Mhm.
next time you have to ask, you know, like, okay, this is the person I need to ask this. And
Yeah.
it's just what it
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You got to know who to ask. I like that, not being afraid to ask for certain things. 'Cause it's like, if you need $50 for your cable bill, baby, just ask me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, and that is real. We were just talking about, you said you were off work for 6 weeks. Six
Yeah.
weeks is not a long time.
It's not.
Sorry, they were riding past with motorcycles. 6 weeks is not a long time. So in that time frame, you might be a little short on a little Duke bill, little cable bill, something. You need the internet. Everybody need the internet. It's just about setting yourself up, like you said, a birth plan. And on top of all of that, Black women are 3 to 4 times likely to die due to pregnancy related complications. And so that is real,
Yeah.
real. And so you have to be proactive with your birthing plan. What do you want to happen? Like Talisha said, what, those things are very important because your life depends on it. You know, you have to know what's going on around you, having your partner
Mm-hmm.
there, and even if you don't have a partner, assigning somebody for that, having a
Mm-hmm.
doula. If this happens, I need this to happen.
Yeah.
If something happened to me, I need my child here, there. You have to set that up because
Mm-hmm.
it is very, very imperative. And so, that I just always preach that to people, like, be prepared. It ain't no just show up and just whatever. No, you need to have a plan. Like my mom always say, plan your work and work your plan. You have to have it. And so I like that we're talking about being proactive instead of reactive in a lot of situations, especially when it comes to something so important, you know,
Mm-hmm.
having a baby. And so um, that goes into my next question. I think this is directed toward Talisha, and you all can weigh in as well. How can we ensure that Black moms have access to culturally sensitive postpartum care and resources?
I hope Queen Village does not get sick of me because every time I get a mom and they tell me I don't have that support, I don't have the family or resources. Do you know Queens Village? Have you heard of them?
Mhm.
Pull your phone
Yes.
out. Let me show you their Instagram page. Let me take you to their website. If they don't have their
Yes.
phone, let me text it to you. Let me text you their link. Um, so I'm always connecting people to Queens Village. Um, your therapist, ask your therapist, are they trained or are they certified in maternal mental health? I knew it was something that I was passionate about, and so I went ahead and got my training through postpartum support international because I knew it was something I don't. So let me back up. I have had miscarriages, and when it happened, the doctor was talking doctor talk, and I was just like, "Are you telling me I'm losing my baby?"
Mhm.
He
Mm-hmm.
said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." I didn't walk out that office with a pamphlet, with a plan, with
Mm-hmm.
a nothing, and I went back to work.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for Miss Kim, she was one of the admin there. She told me I had a miscarriage. This is what my journey looked like. Like I would have never started motherhood and mental health because I don't ever want anyone to experience. And I know people are still experiencing it,
Mhm.
but I hated how I felt after that.
Mhm.
I have never been pregnant before, and the first time I get pregnant,
Mhm.
yes, you're losing your baby. Like there was no type of empathy, no nothing.
Yes.
Mhm.
And so making sure your providers are trained in maternal mental health. And if they're not trained, helping you get access to somebody who
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
Um, I'm creating a resource list for Black mothers so they can have access to different resources in the city as well. But again, like my go-to, Queens Village, Queens Village, Queens Village. Um,
I appreciate that because we if we don't have it, which we have a lot of programming, y'all. I mean, we will sit at a table and be like, y'all know what? We don't have this. Like, moms was asking about this. And so we be like, all right, we getting ready to create it. We
let's
getting
create
ready to
it.
figure it
Yes.
out.
Mhm.
Like Mama
Mhm.
Certified. You'll see some stuff about that that's rolling out later. Like that literally was built. Like a lot of this stuff was built in like 8 months to a year. Like it's like you
Mhm.
pick something, you get on it. You know what I'm saying? It's we don't have time.
Yes.
You there are things that you can do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to be active. And so I think that's what makes Queens Village what it is that sometimes we be like, oh Lord, we done bit off more than we could chew. But you know what?
No, you
We gonna
You
connect with people in the
haven't.
community. We gonna connect with people who can help. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna delegate.
Mhm.
We're gonna reinvent this so that we don't have to hold spaces by ourselves. And so
Yes.
Alicia does a lot of our our mental health program. She
Mhm.
holds that space. So somebody come to us say, I really need therapy. I'm in my postpartum period, or even if they aren't, we like
Mhm.
cool. Sign you up. We're gonna send a referral. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
being a part of through her eyes. Christina doesn't primarily work in maternal and child health, but she doing a project that is literally centered around
Mhm.
postpartum. Like, and she's a photographer amongst other things, but you give that space to like she was saying, you give that space and you create that space, and then you partner with people who can hold that space,
Yeah.
and it has to be people who are passionate about the same things. And so I think that's another thing. Like you have to surround yourself with people who care about the same things that you care about, and because some people don't give a damn,
They
This
honestly.
don't.
world definitely we live in a country that does not care about
Girl,
mothers and motherhood
And
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 black
don't be
this
black.
and
moms.
don't be black, brown, or,
Oh,
even slightly beige.
okay.
Right.
Don't have a slant to your eye or nothing,
Yes.
honey. They do not care about you.
Mhm.
They want you to just get back to work or
Mhm.
have some more kids because at the end of the day, it's that's another conversation for
I was
another
about to
day.
say.
Girl,
Politics, we don't gonna get too politicky right now,
girl,
No,
don't.
but
Let's, girl. They'll be like, damn, what did he cut?
but it's even though I'm not a mom and I don't work in I do work in like education and I've been around kids for years. I still know that I'm a black woman who needs to hold
Mhm.
space for black women, like
Mhm.
regardless, and like
Mhm.
more of us need to um, you know understand we don't have to have, like I said in the beginning, that gap between you're a mom and you're not
Absolutely.
a mom. Like we just need to hold space for one another
Yeah.
and whatever that part in our journeys looks like. And like that's what I'm proud to do, just
Mhm.
to hold space. Like if somebody gets to come and be a part of this project and it makes them feel good about themselves, I did my job.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And it's because our identities have levels that's important. Like we are a mom, we're still a woman and black, right? And we're
Yeah.
still a daughter and an aunt and a sister and a friend and all of those.
Intersectionality.
Right. So that's
Um,
really important. I was gonna say to your question and to your point, um, I had two, three friends who lost children during my pregnancy journey, which was already scary enough because I was getting ready for my rainbow baby. And then after I had my baby, I had a friend who lost their life. Their child made it, but they lost their life, right?
mm,
That has been really hard because I've been, like I said, I was already worried with a postpartum preeclampsia, but now I'm just like, okay, like the idea of my child being here without me is very scary.
Mhm.
So if we want to help women, to your question, pay for it. Put
Mhm.
your money where your mouth is. Don't just be like, oh, I'm gonna take a gift to the baby shower. Do that. I know I see people like pay for a doula, not a baby shower. Do both.
Yeah.
I deserve to be celebrated and I
Yeah.
deserve to have care, right? I deserve. So yes, don't and I paid just to pay it forward, right? Not even bragging. I was like, I love what this lactation consultant did for me. I don't even want it to be a question. I'm not just going to refer my friend to this person. I'm paying for your first visit. You're doing this. You
Yes.
need this. This will be
Yes.
very helpful, right?
Yes.
And like, not because like I got cash money out here. I wish.
You manifest.
Manifest. Yeah.
Manifest.
But
Baby, that's what we
because
do.
all of the things that were done for me were so beautiful things, and I couldn't pay back all of the doulas who cared for me. I want to. I would love to. So how can I pay it forward? I'm gonna refer, but I'm also gonna put my money where my mouth is. I hear my friends saying they're struggling with this. Here, I have this money set aside. I'm using it for that, right? So pay for your friends' things that they need. And I'm talking about when you come to the baby shower, bring the Frida things or whoever. I don't care what brand it is. Bring the diapers for women. Okay, bring the perineal pads. Like I'm using the words. I want you to bring those things and not just onesies.
Yeah.
Okay, because we can get onesies. Moms take great care of each other. You know how many hand-me-downs I've gotten that are nice.
Yes.
Oh, they have postpartum showers.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Don't give me.
That would be lovely.
Lucia,
I'm
can you write that
trademarking it
down
right now.
Christina said it first.
But you know what? It's so funny that you say that. This past weekend we did Mama's Blessing. So it was a rite of passage celebration for people who were pregnant. And so that was our first time doing it. And we had like over 30 pregnant Black women in the place at one time. And so what I told my team was, I said, it would be dope to do this postpartum, right? Because the focus was mom. We had a masseuse there. We had like stations where you can do like birthing affirmations and different things like that. So it was solely about mom, because we have community baby showers all the time, right? But that goes back to it being focused on baby and not mom. And so I was like, I really want to do this. And so Pampers were there, Care Source was there. It was just the love in that place was so beautiful. And so I was thinking about, like, we should do this again, but postpartum, and have resources like Talisha there, like have postpartum doulas there, because there are different types of doulas. People don't know that.
Exactly.
Therapists there, or people just loving on you and telling you how important you are, how beautiful you are.
Fitting
and
people
all
for
those
new
things.
bras. That is something we
Ooh.
talked about
That's
in the
Lucia, write this down. I know you watching.
like it seems so big, but like fitting women for new bras, learning their new bodies, learning your new sizes, you know, because I know how it is just without kids. Sometimes we don't want to buy the bigger clothes.
Okay.
Just do it. You'll feel so much better.
Yes. This is just
Things that
everything.
people just don't think about. Like that is
Right.
so. It seems so small, but that gesture can be so big to someone. Wow.
Because people are having nursing bras there.
Mm.
Because I'm not gonna put my cousin out there, okay? I'm not gonna say her name. This girl was cutting holes in her bra. I'm like, girl,
I'm here for that. I'm here for
tell
that.
me.
Listen.
She said I'm on a budget.
Baby,
so
I will buy you a nursing bra. Like, say what you need.
And that's
what
where
do
you
need?
advocate for yourself.
I will buy you a bra. Like, people think that you be a little broke sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
A lot, bro.
Oh, in between blessings.
In between.
In between.
We be in between.
Yes. But if that's a need of yours, express that. Because I want mine to be out here, you know what I'm saying? Holding them up, taking care of the little cousins and stuff like that. You need this for you, so let me know. You know what I'm saying? And so I love that y'all brought that up. We got some comments, and then I'll go into the closing about through her eyes. Yes, ma'am.
So you brought the thing up about the bra. I'm not sure if bras are included, but if you reach out to your insurance company, they always have a lot of resources for moms. I know even Care Source, like you get a breast pump.
Yep, a free one.
A free one.
Yep.
So I always encourage my clients to reach out to their insurance companies to see what resources they have for moms.
Because the more that we do this, the more that we do the work, the more that these managed care plans are a part of this. They're listening to what it is that we need. We need visits in there for postpartum moms, therapy visits. We need them for free. We need y'all to make a list of people in this network, because this is gonna cost you more money on the back end. You know what I'm saying? So having those, resources and having those connections with these insurance companies is very important. And Meredith, our ED, is always on the phone with insurance companies. They like, what do you need? We get it from the streets. What y'all need, and we gonna ask for it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is off limits. It could be your wildest dreams. tell us
Yeah.
what you need because
'Cause
they will give.
you
Yeah.
deserve to look good and feel
Absolutely.
good.
And I would
Absolutely.
add, there would probably be great to have like a breast pump fund because the insurance company will cover a breast pump, but they cover a very basic level of
That's
breast
true.
pump.
That's
Yeah.
And
true.
when you're like, oh, but actually I need one that's portable or I need
That's
this,
true.
they're gonna like, oh, that's gonna be an extra $100.
Mhm.
Oh, you want the accessories too? That's gonna be this.
Mhm.
And so then you're like, okay, do I settle and get something that's really probably not gonna work? Or do
Mhm.
I try to find somewhere to, so I would just add that
Yeah, those
because
are those
that's
loopholes
hard.
I'm talking about. Like, yeah, those are nice,
Mhm.
but we found these, and we
Yes.
think y'all should cover these. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
exactly.
We go back. Let me go back up. It says if your job has EAP, this is good. They could
Mhm.
also offer a counselor, or they may offer a specific number of visits within a network, with an in-network therapist. If you don't have one, some jobs have future mom programs. My job does, and they really helped and care. That's great. Jacqueline on here. Hey girl, that's my girl, the
Hey.
the hood midwife.
Yes.
She
Text me
said
back.
it's the new bra fitting. That's a wonderful idea. Postpartum party. Y'all don't even trip. We gonna have one. Even specialty formula never hurts to ask. Absolutely,
Yeah.
because you don't know what the baby is going to, take to. The Stork's Nest is a good community resource. Absolutely, I agree. One resource that we have here at Cradle is Cradle Connections. That is the direct service leg of our work, and so we have community health workers, we have certified lactation consultants, we have a nurse, we have a dietitian, which a lot of people don't think that they need after they have a baby, but when you're breastfeeding, you definitely need to be eating a certain way. We have all of those resources at Cradle. And so if you're interested in that, make sure you inbox us and we can get you hooked up with Trina, who is our intake coordinator. So I just wanted to throw that out there because that's another resource. And they can also connect you with other resources within the city as well. So I wanted to make sure that we covered that before we close. So the last thing is I want Christina to talk about Through Her Eyes. So Through Her Eyes is a project of ours that we have every single year at the Contemporary Art Center, and it is a way for Black women to express themselves through art. And so this is the year of the mama. And so this year we are focusing on mom and centering Black moms and amplifying their voices through art. And so Christina has been working with some Black moms for quite a time now. And so I want her to touch on what has been happening and when the opening is in what, a few weeks?
Mhm.
Yes, 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 yes.
Sure. So just to go back a little bit, I've been working on a project for the past year called the Body Representation Series. So when I heard about Through Our Eyes and they were looking for artists in residence, I wanted to bring the Body Representation Series, but a focus on mothers. And this was all about challenging stereotypes, um, not just within like society, but within yourself, within your community, within your circle. How do people see you? How are you seeing yourself? How do you want to be seen? Like tapping back into all of that and then creating it through art expression. So it incorporates, they've been doing a lot of affirmation work because how we talk to ourselves is important. So it's been a lot of affirmation work and like creating painting and mixed media. And they also got to do get what am I trying to say? A
Look,
makeover, a little makeover.
yes.
But it was catered to how they want to be seen, not just me being like, "Oh, this
Mhm.
is what I want you to look
Mhm.
like," but
Mhm.
what you want to look like. And then also telling a little bit of your story and yourself. And so May 5th at the Contemporary Art Center, you'll be able to see these women's photographs, some of their artwork they've created, some special things we're going to throw in there that they don't know about. And also get to see their interviews that they have been doing. So I'm really excited about it.
That's good. I've been very happy to see it all come together. It started on a Google Doc, and to see it, manifesting, and to see all of the women that are just so happy to be a part of it, it really makes my day and my year. This is one of my favorite projects, and so it's just great that we get to do this. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to be living this space. I'm happy that you all joined this evening to talk a little bit about, what we got going on, all things postpartum. This is the year of the mama, the black birthing people. And so if you're not doing anything on May 5th, which I just gave you something to do, come to the Contemporary Art Center. You can sign up on our Facebook and our Instagram. It's open to the public. We want everyone to come out and make these mamas feel special and showcase their work. And I believe that that is all that I have. A happy Black Maternal Health Week. I hope that everyone has pitched in and found something to do to contribute to maternal equity, and fighting for Black babies and Black mamas. So I appreciate you all. I can't wait till the 5th. And we just gonna do that thing. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you all.
Go love on a black mama.
Yes, right now.
All right. You can hit stop. I don't know how it works over there. But